Hello out there. Welcome to the Heavy Montez podcast and my comedy show. Now, in America, you know, I always come out here saying that Donald Trump and the Republican Party are low down, dirty dogs. I always call them notorious liars. But tonight, we're going to talk about Donald Trump. And I am going to, give you some information here. I have compiled some information here on my mobile phone. Hope everybody's having a great night, America, and a great day, and I hope your Thanksgivings were pleasant with friends and family. Now, in America, now here is Donald Trump. Now I always tell you he has a bad reputation. Said the man is a low down criminal and a scoundrel, and that's not counting all the sexual deviancy and things that he's saying he's doing, that they say he's doing, such as being a dang old pedophile, they say. Now in America, now Donald Trump has flown 7 times on Epstein's plane. I wonder if there were young girls on the plane when he was flying, you see. Now that's very incriminating, you understand. He has taken the fifth 97 times, America. He pleaded the fifth. Like somebody asked him, said, did you sleep with a 12-year-old? That's just an example, a hypothetical. And he refused to answer the question on the grounds that it may have incriminated his dirty, nasty, stink ass. Now in America, Donald Trump has 34 felony convictions. I want you to, send this to any maggot out there or anybody who says this video that says that Donald Trump is a good man and he's good for America. Donald Trump has had 91 criminal charges in America, 26 sexual assault allegations, 6 bankruptcies, 5 draft deferments, America, running and hiding a taco. You understand? They say that none of his family members have ever served in the military, and Donald Trump say that our veterans are losers and suckers. America. That's what they tell me. You understand? He has had, I said, 5 draft deferments, again, 4 indictments, you see. 4 times. He's walking around the street minding his business and, hey, they indicted him. He said, 2 impeachments. 2 of his companies have been convicted of crimes, America. And you know about that fake university scam, Trump University. You had to pay money on that. You understand? Pay the people back, tricking the poor people out of their doggone money. They shut down the man's charity, said he was taking money, and putting it in his pocket and using it for things outside of the charity. So they made him shut it down. He's had a $25 million fraud settlement, a $5 million sexual abuse verdict, a $2 million fake charity abuse, charity America. A billionaire being convicted of charity abuse, America. $2 million fake charity abuse judgment, America. He has had, oh my glory, 93 million sexual abuse judgments, which the court said he got to pay the money. Said he raped a woman. The woman said she was in an apartment store. That's some treacherous shit. What type of person rape a woman in a dang on, the apartment store, even if, he wasn't found guilty of this shit, but they're saying, civilly, they're saying that he did this shit and making him pay for it. You're going to go out and take and make that man president? And he has a $400 million fraud judgment, which the maggot court saying he don't have to pay. You know what I'm saying? For stealing money from New York. But the crime is still there. Even if they take away, the payment, He's still guilty of that shit, you understand? He had to walk into the police station, take a damn mugshot. Now the man is president of the United States. Falling asleep on the job, America. Today, you fall asleep on the job. You understand? Trying to defend that stupid ass headset. You know, they killing people, they say, on boats and shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Now you got to defend themselves. Now the day they came out and said, yeah, headset put people in danger. You understand? When he was doing those non-secure calls on the telephone, using a single app and shit. Just pick up the telephone, just blurt secrets out and shit. And the man's still in the job. Now, I don't want to follow that man no damn way. If I was in the military, I'd be scared as hell of him. He's doing shit to dishonor the military. You know, the soldiers don't need to be fair in their leader. You understand? Everybody think that Trump and the boys working for Russia any damn way. And they don't hide the shit. Donald Trump come out and he says, well, Vladimir Putin says not him. He says it's not Russia. I have no reason to believe that is not Russia. When we see Russia do the shit. You understand? That's what we're dealing with. You know, and Fox News, they're just backing them up and fool these dang old people. You got people walking around like that looking like damn fools voting for a convict. Now, Tennessee, you ought to be ashamed of yourself voting for a dang old convict. Now, let me tell you something. You know, I'm talking about Trump. So when you voted in that guy, a Republican, you voted in Trump. You made give Trump a little bit more power. Tell her, stick it to your ass, farmer. You know what I'm trying to tell you? You see, these people in Tennessee are so racist and have been so conditioned, that they beat their own people because of their race. Instead of trying to make the country flourish and educate the people, the state, and educate the people, they still playing a race war. And you have these vicious racists in the Tennessee House and the state, House. They need to get rid and vote these Republicans out. When you see the name Republican now, it doesn't mean conservative. It means maggots. It means people who are trying to take the money away from you and force you into religion. Going to the maggot church. Heavy ain't going. I'm not going to the maggot churches, man. You know what I'm saying? They dumb you down. You're so damn stupid. In Tennessee, I don't understand it. You got to explain this shit to me. You're a farmer, and Donald Trump got killed your dang on farm, and you're still holding on to that bullshit. Yeah, talking about the lady who they were against. She didn't like country and Western music. Hey, we like country and Western music, but a lot of my friends think I'm crazy. You see what I'm trying to tell you? You don't get mad at me and say we can't be friends no more because you don't like country and Western music. Like I told you, I was stationed, 47 miles from Nashville, at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. So I did a lot of partying in Nashville. And Nashville is a music city, not just country and Western music. You understand? So you don't have to like country and Western music and be in Nashville. You can go across town to party and listen to hip hop and anything you want to listen to. You see? But the maggots use all kinds of things. Talking about the lady just because, she don't like country and Western music, she ain't going to give you health care, and fight for you. The lady told you what she was going to do for you there in Tennessee. And somebody said, a famous historian, he said, Tennessee is the last holdout, America. He said, they still, fighting the Civil War in Tennessee. They sit around all day saying, oh, I wish I was a Dixie, the land of cotton America. You see? So they're trying to put everybody in there in slavery and take a little money and stick it in their pocket. Them Republicans got a lot of bullshit going on in America. This is Heavy Monte from the Heavy Monte podcast and the Heavy Monte comedy show saying, thank you all my new subscribers. We've met our goal of 500 subscribers. We are trying to get 1,000 subscribers. We're going for 5,000 next. Ladies and gentlemen, because the Heavy Monte is the progressive voice, telling everybody up there, never, ever vote for a Republican. Now, before I leave, I got to tell you a story. Tell you a story about an old man. You understand? An old man who say he is president. This man is sleeping on the job, and our press better cover it. This is a dangerous situation we're in right now in America, having an incompetent man running our country. He's sick. You know, I don't give a damn if he's not sick. He shouldn't be going to sleep. What if I just go to sleep right now, America, on this mic? What the hell you think of me? I'm talking. Oh, this is heavy money. What kind of shit is that? You understand? They're sitting around, the man talking this shit. He don't listen to nothing. He wake up every once in a while, go back to sleep. And nobody says shit. Nobody wake him up and say, look at him, man, wake your ass up. You know what I'm saying? But I think they're trying to get him now. I think the people are saying, look, we let him go out there because, you know, American people will have to say that Donald Trump's going to have to resign. He got to go, you know, and we can get rid of him during the midterms. You know, we can get rid of them. All the governors, all of those Republican governors, that asshole in South Carolina who's talking about he want to hunt Democrats with dogs. Oh, that asshole in Florida. You know what I'm talking about. That governor, he a piece of shit. You understand what I'm saying? He out there talking about people woke and all this stuff before he thought he was getting elected. But he didn't follow his little stupid ass. Trump crashed his little ass the first damn day. You know, walking around with white rubber boots on his. Nobody gonna vote for your ass after they see you with boots like that. Heavy know all about fashion. You see what I'm saying? But I want to say this to you, America. We don't want to vote for no Republican. We have no reason to vote for a Republican. A Republican is a low-down, dirty dog. You understand? That joker will bite you. You understand? And bite you in your back. One day, America. You know, I used to be a forest fighter. And I used to be a commissary officer. And I used to have to fly in small planes wherever the fire was at to hire, you know, native crews. You know, a lot of native Americans worked, you know, in the out there. They're the only ones out there, so we hired them to put the damn fire out. You understand? So I had to go out there and do that. And so one day, you know, and they have these dogs, these nasty dogs. You know, they don't wash them and stuff these little bit in there and stuff. You know, what do you call them? You know what I'm talking about. Keep the dogs. And what happened is veterinarians, what do you call them? And what happened is I hopped up in the truck, and the lady told me, she said, you know, don't worry about the dog won't bite you. I hopped up in the truck and the dog bit me. And it's a good thing I had my wallet. He didn't, you know, break the skin. If you break the skin, you know, it might have been rabies, because they have rabies out there in the bush and shit like that. That's what a low-down, dirty dog is. That's Donald Trump and the Republican Party. You see, you trusted them. You turn your back. You know, you said, I'm going to trust you. Even though there's some shaky shit. You're telling me you're getting rid of the immigrants and I need them for the farm. Well, you're going to replace something else. You tell me that healthcare isn't any good and you're going to give us some new healthcare, right? But they did the opposite. They took the shit away entirely. Because that's their goal. You know, and they took the money that they said they were going to give you and make your life better and bring the price of things down and give it to the billionaires. You know, and every time they look around, they try to give the billionaires more money. And also, they want to bring in this Project 2025 that they said that they didn't want to bring in. So you, when you vote for a Republican, regardless of who you are, you're voting against yourself. You know, you need to read Project 2025. And if you agree with Project 2025, I'm go ahead and vote for the Republicans. But I'm telling you, not too many people agree with that shit. Donald Trump would have not been elected president if Donald Trump came out and said, I am going to, you know, come out and put Project 2025 as my policy is. He'd have lost. So he lied, and the videotape is out there saying, hey, look, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm not going to take away any of your healthcare stuff. You know, I'm going to bring down groceries, you know. Joe, if you take and vote for a Democrat, you're not going to have a country. You don't have a country now. You got a banana republic because the country is as good as its government. You understand? You see what I'm saying? All right, ladies and gentlemen, This is Heavy Monte saying keep on subscribing. Huh? Get me to 1,000. Get the old man voice out there. Because the old man is going to let everybody know to never, ever vote for a Republican. And please subscribe to the Heavy Montes YouTube channel.